Hello again. There was a time when New Scientist magazine was a respectable academic journal. These days, it's simply a vehicle for fashionable ideas lifted from critical race theory. Last month, a woman who writes regularly for New Scientist had a book published called Systemic: How Racism is Making Us Ill. New Scientist published a video interview with the author on their YouTube channel, in the course of which she expounds her theory, which is that when black people and Asians have poorer health outcomes than white people, this is due to racism on the part of society, rather than because of their own actions or due to being due to inherent genetic differences. She claims, and the title of the video is "Racism is the least acknowledged, most dangerous public health threat," apparently worse than heart disease and cancer and so on, which I find a little far-fetched. In the description to this video, I give links both to the book on Amazon and to the YouTube video. I thought it would be interesting to consider the first claim which she makes in the video. I doubt I'll have time to go through the whole video because there are so many dubious statements in it. I won't say falsehoods because the woman is sincere but working from a faulty ideology. I will limit myself to practically the first thing she says. But I'll provide references also in the description to this video which support what I'm saying. 38 seconds into the video, Liverpool mentions that black women are 4 times more likely to die during childbirth than white women, and she attributes this to systemic racism. That is the whole point of her book. Well, why are black women, and to a lesser extent women of South Asian heritage, more likely to die during childbirth? The same thing is seen in the United States, where African American women have the highest rates of obesity or being overweight compared to all other ethnic groups. About 4 out of 5 African American women are overweight or obese. The situation is similar in Britain. This is not caused by racism, but by diet. It means that black women are more likely to suffer from high blood pressure, strokes, and diabetes. This hasn't got anything to do with being poor either, which is something else which Lady Liverpool suggests. In Britain, people of Bangladeshi heritage are even more poor and tend to live in run-down areas, but you'll seldom see an obese Bengali or Sylheti, although obese black women are common enough. Black women tend to eat too much of the wrong kind of food, and so they become fat. Not only that, they, and also people of South Asian heritage, are more likely to put loads of salt in their food. I give a link to a document from Blood Pressure UK, which says that if you are from an African, Caribbean or South Asian background, you are a higher risk of developing high blood pressure than the rest of the population. South Asian people also have a higher risk of developing type 2 diabetes, which combined with high blood pressure makes heart disease, stroke, kidney disease and other health problems more likely. It goes on, traditional African, Caribbean and South Asian dishes can be high in salt, which raises your blood pressure. The more salt you eat, the higher your blood pressure will be. You see the problem here. This is about diet, not systemic racism. What has this got to do with 4 times as many black women dying during childbirth as white women, you ask? It is obesity and high blood pressure which are associated with things such as preeclampsia. What's preeclampsia? It's a condition which can kill women during pregnancy. In the description to this video, I give a link to the NHS information about this condition. Among the risk factors are having high blood pressure and being overweight. It isn't hard to see that if a group of women are obese and suffer from high blood pressure, then they will, if they get pregnant, be more likely to suffer from preeclampsia and consequently have a higher risk of dying during childbirth. It really is as simple as that. It is neither race nor racism which is involved here, but simply people eating poor and unsuitable diets and, as a result, harming themselves. It is a lifestyle choice. In the case of women of South Asian heritage, there is an additional factor at play, which is that many of them are Pakistani or Bangladeshi. Over half of all marriages in Britain between people of Pakistani heritage are between either first or second cousins. Among white people, the proportion is 1 in 25,000. One result of this is that stillbirths where the baby is born dead are twice as common for Pakistani mothers in Britain as they are for white mothers. Again, nothing whatever to do with race or systemic racism, but a natural consequence of a lifestyle choice. People who marry their cousins or eat too many hamburgers are not, as Layla Liverpool evidently imagines, victims of systemic racism. They are rather individuals who are likely in the future to suffer the ill effects of their own foolish or ill-considered lifestyle choices. In a free country, where the law does not forbid it, I should of course be free to marry my cousin and have children by her if I wish to do so. In the same way, should I wish to eat unhealthy foods to excess or drink whiskey too frequently, these are also courses of actions which I should have the liberty to take. However, as with any choices which we make, there might be downsides to being a greedy and immoderate eater. One of these is obesity, and others are heart disease and strokes. Overindulging in alcohol can be harmful, while marrying a close relative might harm any children we have. In just the first 40 seconds or so of the video by a new scientist on this topic, it provided enough material for me to have to debunk it at this length, which means I fear I won't have the time to go into the rest of it, which is by and large similarly foolish and wrong-headed. Liverpool makes much of various personal accounts of what is described as lived experience, another catchphrase, of course, from the ideology of critical race theory. I'm sure that she knows that the plural of anecdote is not data. As I say, New Scientist used to be a very good magazine for those hoping to keep up with modern developments in science, but one only has to watch a video to which I give a link to see how far downhill it has gone in recent years. The rot actually set in the 1980s when they adopted a policy of opposition to nuclear power. They've never really recovered from this. Do watch the video and also check the references I give. I'm quite prepared to be proved wrong here, so feel free to point out any errors of mine in the comments.